my friends. Happy Monday. I am super excited to have Michelle be joining us today for some Make Art with Me. If you're not familiar with our Instagram lives, this is your chance to be creative, a time for art teachers to tap into their creative side and make sure that you're really being amazing artists and art educators. So today we are going to be joined by Michelle Parven, who's going to show us some Shibori folding techniques, which I'm super psyched about. So we're going to get her in here soon, but just a friendly reminder for you right off the top before I forget. The first one is, and Michelle will talk about this a little bit too, but just a little plug to make sure you check out our YouTube, because all of the Instagram live chats that we have here on Instagram are also uploaded and saved on YouTube if it's easier for you to watch there or in your classroom. And then also you'll learn some fun stuff about some new YouTube things coming from Michelle as well as some other guests. So we're going to get Michelle in here and we will get started with So she will be joining us soon. I have all my stuff already. Michelle. Where is Michelle? Michelle!
Sarah!
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I am exhausted.
Me too. Oh my gosh. Tell me how long you've been in school. Or
today was actually our first day. It was in-service day for staff today and tomorrow.
Yes.
And then the kids come on Wednesday. So
okay. Yeah. Yep. I know. It's kind of like you have to train your brain again to be in school mode as much as you've done it years and years. I'm finding myself like, oh yeah, no, yeah, this is very tiring.
Yeah, exhausting.
I forgot.
And also I forgot, like, I have to go back to packing lunches, so there's that.
Yes. Yes, I know the packing lunches, imminent packing lunches. All right, well, Michelle, thank you for joining us. Can you give everyone just a quick intro to who you are as an educator and artist?
Absolutely. So I am Michelle Parven. I am an elementary K-4 art teacher in a suburb outside of Boston. I've been teaching for 18 years, but this is year 9 or 10 at my school. I don't know. And I love the littles. I love kind of helping them develop their early skills. And with Shibori, I kind of pretty new to it. I started, I was visiting a friend of mine last summer in Nantucket, which is a tiny island off the coast of Cape Cod. And it's really like a summery, wonderful place. And it literally rained for 3 straight days. So there was nothing to do. And we were kind of browsing through some of the little downtown shops. And there were all of these blue and white, because, you know, you're by the ocean and the beach. There was a lot of Shibori, like, housewares. And I just casually said to my friend, who's also an artist, I've always wanted to learn how to do that. And she's like, oh my God, my mom left me a box with the indigo dye, and there's no like Target or Walmart on the island of Nantucket. So we went to the thrift store and bought everything white that we could find.
Nice.
And we just Shibori'd for 2 days and I was hooked. So
I love it.
I think I've come to the realization that, like, the kind of art making that I enjoy the most is the kind that has that little aha element of surprise to it. Like printing also, like when you make a print, like you think you might know how it's going to turn out. There's always that little twist until you actually reveal it. So like,
yes, the grand reveal, you like the suspense of just seeing what it's going to look like. I approve. Yeah,
I do. Yeah. So that's why I think I like Shibori so much. And it's methodical, but it's also not. So I just looked into it a lot. And the things I realized, there's sort of 3 main things, and I'll kind of go over that today, that kind of give you successful results. And it's the folding, it's the binding, and it's the dipping.
I love it.
So those are the variables, but yeah, so.
Okay, well, let's dive right in, because I know we have a lot to go over and we like to keep these kind of like speedy, because as Michelle and I were discussing, we're very tired. We need our Monday nap, but we want to make some art with you. And I'm going to just try turning down my camera here too, so we can see kind of from the top view. But perfect. Again, friendly reminder, if y'all are joining us, feel free to just fold along with us. Again, we also save all of these chats to Instagram Live, that IGTV tab, and upload to YouTube, so y'all can check them out later. But
I do want to just say we're not actually doing the tie-dyeing today.
Yes.
Because I realized like that would just be kind of tricky, but I am going to kind of like mine, Charade, how to do the dips, and then these, you know, you can do the dyeing off camera. I have done, I don't know, do you want to talk about the dyeing now or like get into
Let's
the
talk
folding?
about it at the end. Let's do all of
Right.
our folding and get the folding out of the way, and then just
Awesome.
tell us what we would do, kind of like our little cooking show. So we're gonna
Awesome.
turn our cameras down here, and
Yep.
I think I have everything I need, hopefully, but
Okay.
please tell us what materials do we need today to kind of get ourselves going.
Okay, so you need something white. So a pillowcase, a napkin. I have a napkin and a t-shirt. I brought both, and I'll show you how to do both because t-shirts are obviously not square, so it kind of presents a little bit more of a challenge.
Yes.
But there is a way to kind of do that. And then you need something to bind it with. So you can do a really great, very basic shibori with just some rubber bands, and that's all. If you don't have rubber bands, you can use any kind of string. I actually really like turkey twine, you know, like twine, because it's cotton and you don't get any weird, like it's not going to disintegrate with when it gets wet.
And then you dyed your cotton string, which is very exciting.
Yes, and exactly. So part of the process is the string can get dyed as well. And then if you want to kind of take it next level, you can add just popsicle sticks. You can see that I reuse ones that I have. And I'm trying to make sure. Can you see me okay? I think I'm
that's perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can have popsicle sticks. You can have little like binding clips like these to bind the sides together. So that's kind of next level, and I will show you some next level stuff too, but we're going to kind of go from like the most basic to like the slightly more, I don't want to say advanced, but like, you know, the funkier.
Like
we'll
more
go
complex.
from simple to funky.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with a napkin because it's just a little easier to explain like the initial folding. So all shibori, I kind of equate it to origami, but you're using fabric instead of paper. Now, the real diehards would actually iron and press this. I am lazy and iron, why bother?
I mean, like lazy, direct, excited. They are all
exactly.
You just want to get into it.
That's right. So if you really wanted this to look like Super Pro, you would obviously press the creases, and actually the Super Pro pros press after each fold, but we're not going to do that. So every piece of shibori starts with an accordion fold. Like we've all made those paper fans as kids, right? So it's really the same idea. And what happens is you start to get like a very methodical way of folding this. So I like to start kind of closest to my belly, and you just want to kind of fold it onto itself. So you're not folding it, you know, over. You're folding it in an accordion way. So just kind of fold it, make it flat, and then lift it up, fold it, make it flat.
So depending on the size of your fabric, obviously, but also just kind of like really getting some good tight accordion folds. Also, sorry, I was distracted. There was a really cool idea in here about closing buttons into the shibori. So like hiding things inside there. I assume it means like tucking a button in and then sort of folding it.
Totally. Yes.
That's what's happening in the chat. Yes, I love that.
I know, it's so cool. You can totally do that so that it leaves like a ghost impression almost in the fabric. I know, it's very cool. So I did a very wide fold here on this first napkin, but you could make it as wide or as narrow as you like. So, you know, if I wanted to go narrower, I would just do like maybe a 1-inch fold. The first fold I'm going to teach everyone is called the caterpillar, because it literally looks like a caterpillar. And this is sort of the easiest, most basic one. So I'm making this a little bit smaller. And I'm just kind of, you know, pinching the ends with my finger as I'm going up. So are you all the way down? Yeah, you look like you're all the way down.
Yep. I kind of kept mine wide, but I think I'll probably reuse this one. All right, cool. So once we get our accordion.
So now you've got your accordion. And now to make the caterpillar fold, you're going to fold it in half across.
Okay.
one time, and then you're going to fold the sides back. So you're actually accordioning it. Say that fast 3 times. So I'm now going to fold these ends backwards and backwards. So you can see here, it's also like a little bit of an accordion. Yeah.
Like a little W shape or a little M. Okay, cool.
Exactly. So then all you have to do with this is bind it. So the most basic binds, and like I said, you're going to get the variety. I actually have this really great bag of rubber bands where there's different thicknesses of the rubber bands. Mm-hmm. So the thicker the band, it's actually going to leave an impression. So you could certainly just literally just bind this all the way down. You want to bind it pretty tight because you want to keep that in a nice little pocket folded together. So you can certainly bind it all the way down. That's sort of a basic caterpillar fold. You could use different widths of string.
Perfect. Okay. Is this a basic one that you typically start with for your students?
Yes, it is. I actually have yet to do this with students.
Ooh, okay.
Pandemic, we've never really done it. So it's really just for us art teachers.
Yes.
And I think that this, you know, I teach K through 4. I maybe could do this with 4th grade, but I think it would be really hard for littles. But it's great fine motor, you know.
Yeah. Totally.
Between the folding and the binding. So that's just like a very basic caterpillar bind.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So sticking with the caterpillar, I'm going to show you some other bindings that I've done previously. I got a whole bag. So these have already been dyed. So this one has 5 bands on it. So this one I just did 3. This one I actually used some of those popsicle sticks. And I made like a little sandwich, and then I bound I put the binding around the sticks. You could also bind it first, and then you could kind of shimmy the stick underneath. And what this does is not only does it press the sides together, so you could press 2 sticks like this after you bind it, and then you could just take a smaller rubber band and kind of wrap it around the ends of the sticks. Oop, don't snap the band on yourself. So you can kind of make a little sandwich like that.
Love.
So that's another way to do it. You could also take the caterpillar fold and you could bind it across the long way, like a present.
And of course, just like with tie-dye, all of the rubber bands or the popsicle sticks, every component that you add is going to adjust or change where the pressure comes and where you're going to get those kind of lighter or darker spaces with the shibori.
Exactly. So if you want, I can actually unwrap 1 or 2 of these.
Yeah, I want to see that first one that you brought out. That one looks awesome.
This one?
And as you're unwrapping it, just a couple really great comments too in the chat here. The first one, that was just a reminder that this is a Japanese art form, and I'm curious too, Michelle, if you know of any of the origin of shibori, if you have looked into that at all, and then also just to kind of piggyback off that, an individual here also just reminded us about a book by Yoshiko Wada entitled Shibori, and it has some really great reminders in there, some cool things, and they also said some artwork by Anna Lisa Hedstrom. So
wow, these are
I know everyone's so psyched about it.
I know. Again, I am learning things. I actually don't know a ton about the art form of shibori. I mean, I do know that a lot of the indigo dyes come from the Far East initially, so blue was considered very valuable. You think about blue wear shibori is traditionally done with indigo, with blue dye. Obviously, you can use any color you want. But yeah, I don't really, and I'm an art history person, but yeah, I don't really know a lot about the origins of it, but I got my homework cut out for me. Because
yeah, I love it. Well, I thank you for those suggestions, everyone. I'll go ahead and try to link to those
those links in the story after our chat today, so y'all can try to find those resources as well.
That would be
all right.
amazing.
So show us what that one looks like too, Michelle, so we can take a peek at it. I'm excited.
Yes, so I have, these are all caterpillar folds. So here's the one we just did in the top here. And then here's all different bindings. So you can see these two are actually bound identically, but I dyed them differently.
So you only dipped portions and then stopped to leave some space. Kind of
so this one I dipped the two ends. This one I dipped the edge and the end.
Nice.
So you want me to open this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do anyone, because this is the reveal you were talking about. You're like, you can't, the anticipation is so exciting.
I know. Well, it's kind of nice to do it like with each fold and then see what it comes out as versus waiting till the end, because then I think so this one was a full immersion. So I put the whole thing in. You can start to see the little shadow of the rubber band left here.
Okay.
So it's, comes out like lighter. And then I start to take the sticks off. And then, ta-da! Ooh.
Ooh,
so
yes. The little squares are super cool.
Yeah, so this one is
like
a full immersion,
yeah.
So there's a lot of blue in it. And you can see the inner part has a little more white, probably because it was kind of scrunched up in the center. And you can see the sort of the shadows of the popsicle sticks here and the shadows of the band. So that's what makes it's very geometric and repetitive, which is what I love about it.
Yes.
This one's a cool one. And what's nice about using like cotton squares like this is a lot of people make them into, like, if you're good at sewing, you can turn it into a pillow or, whatever you want. Here's another one. You can see this one. I just dipped the long edge and I left the top white.
I love it.
Should we unband one more of these?
Show me a couple more folding techniques, because I want to make sure we have time to get to those first. Great. And then we'll see if we can do a little special reveal at the end as well.
Sounds terrific. Okay. So now we're going to do the square fold. Okay. So the square fold, and actually I think after that I'm going to demonstrate on the t-shirt after this one.
I would love to see the t-shirt. I think I'm going to do Shibori with my art club students, and we always make t-shirts every year.
Oh,
so I need to know how to do the t-shirt.
Yeah, the t-shirt's a little trickier, but not impossible. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is going to start the exact same way. This is called the box fold.
Okay.
And so you're going to first start with that accordion. So it always starts with an accordion fold.
Okay.
So you can make your strips small. You can make them, I think I'm going to do this one a little bit bigger because that's what I feel like.
Have you ever done accordion folds from the corner?
I'm getting to that, girlfriend. I have.
Okay, I gotta break the rules a little bit,
I know. Yeah, we're gonna do the straight one and then we'll do the corner ones.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so we've got the classic start, the accordion folds.
Classic start. And then you're going to do a box accordion. So we're basically going to accordion it across all the way.
Ooh.
Okay. So I'm going to make a square. And then some people like to kind of flip it and go back. So you're just kind of going back and forth.
Got it.
Doing the little zigzag.
I could see how this is like nice for older students, just because sometimes it gets to be a lot of fabric in your hand, and it's nice to be able to not feel like it's going to explode out of your
exactly.
fingers.
Yeah, it can get super thick very quick.
Yes.
So again, like different bindings for the square fold, you could hold on. You could just bind it like a present, like this. This one I bound like a present, but it was dipped differently. This one I did a double bind. It's a little smooshed, but
I love how many you have that you haven't revealed yet. I'm just so excited for you to eventually open those up.
I know. And then here's the little sandwich full immersion. I like to immerse the ones that I bind with the sticks because I think it just leaves a really cool impression. So
I love it.
So you can bind these. So let's talk about the clips. Like some people have binder clips. You could put like a clip on one side Someone talked about a button. Sometimes you can tuck little things inside here. I was just going for basics, so that's definitely pro.
Right.
You could do a clip and a band. Like, why not? You know?
Yeah.
There's really no right or wrong answer, but that's how you get all the different variety.
Okay, love.
But you know, oh, that cool, love it.
Yeah.
So cool. So the bind, the fold, the bind, and the dip is going to give you the sort of reveal for that. So I'm going to show you. This one is the box fold, and it's wrapped like a little present. And I dipped all 4 edges. So, you know, you're just dipping it in the dye. You hold it for like 10 seconds and then you turn it. Obviously, it starts to bleed into the fabric.
Do you feel like, Michelle, do you feel like it bleeds like a lot, that you should kind of dip less than you think? Or is it pretty, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, definitely dip less than you think. These 2, I actually dipped like diagonal corners in. I dipped like diagonal tips.
Love.
So we can open up one of these. I think I'll open, go ahead.
I was going to say, give me that diagonal one. I want to see what that guy looks like.
This one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm too excited. I'm like, I want to be there opening them with you because I can't.
You see what I'm saying about
I know, it's so exciting.
I know, it's so fun. So this one got a little, when I bound it, it got a little smushed together, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Now, when I open
I'm just thinking ahead too, Michelle. Did you just order like a big old stack of 100% cotton like napkins, or where are you finding these materials? Yeah.
Amazon, Walmart are all really good sources.
I love that so much.
Isn't that great? I know these are one of my favorites because I love, it's kind of like space age a little bit, you know?
Yes. Yes.
I tend to prefer, I mean, I think the variety is really nice. I tend to prefer the ones where there's like a fair amount of white to the blue.
I agree.
But I think like, look, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You know, like when you line them all up together, it's pretty awesome. So that's the box fold. So we've done caterpillar fold, box fold. Now diagonally, a couple ways you can do this. So one of them is the triangular fold. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we're going to do a full-on diagonal. Actually, let's do the full-on diagonal. Let me talk about t-shirt folding for a moment.
Yes, please.
So, you know, you got these little sucker things called sleeves, which make it a little difficult to have, you know, an actual square or a rectangle. So obviously if and the shirt has 2 sides. So obviously if you're using a shirt, you really want to make sure it's smooth. And I actually like to start by folding the sleeves in. And I fold one towards the top, and then I fold the other to the back.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like to do that is if I fold it on side of itself like this, it's gonna get like super thick. But I also want it to kind of be a continuum of the designs. So you're just gonna accordion the same way you've been doing. Now, I generally find it easy to start from the bottom of the shirt, but you can do it anyway. I'm gonna do it from the top because it is a little trickier. And
do you feel like whichever side you start from tends to be a little bit less concentrated when it comes to dyeing, just because that's what's in the very inside, or does it even out?
It tends to even out. Now, another cool thing that you can do with a t-shirt is you can actually fold it sideways. So instead of folding top to bottom, I find this to be a lot easier. I mean, I think our instincts are, you know, they start at the top, but it's actually, if you fold from the side, oh, I have a nice tag sticking out here, but we'll just put that. And you just are going to accordion fold it the same way that you've been doing. You can fold it across like this.
Okay.
Like so. And then, you know, you could do the caterpillar one. You could do the box one that we just did. Another way you can fold the t-shirt is to start at a bottom corner. So you can fold it diagonally up. You can accordion fold it like this. So you're starting with a triangle and then you're folding it up. I'm kind of doing this quickly, so it's obviously.
And that's where the sleeves get a little tricky, I imagine, more with the diagonal, but I see how
Yes.
just tucking those in right away kind of makes it so you have a more rectangular shape of fabric to start with, and that's going to be helpful.
Exactly.
Nice.
So this is tucked in, and then I can kind of go like this, and then that you can see the triangular fold all the way across. And I
Perfect.
actually have a dyed triangular t-shirt.
Show us.
So this one I just kind of bound a little crazy because I was like, why not? So I did like one across, and then I did an X. I have no idea what this is going to look like.
I seriously cannot wait for my students to reveal these.
And
And where
know.
can you,
So,
as you're unfolding this, can you tell us where you get your dye from?
Yep, I just get the dye at any art supply store. I like the RIT dye, and they actually have indigo dye. And my pro tip with this is use double what it says on the bottle. So
double of the dye part, so it's more concentrated.
Exactly. So
Okay.
this says like for every pound of fabric, you use like a half a bottle with 3 gallons of water. I use a whole bottle with 3 gallons of water because I like that really rich blue. And I have in experimenting with it, I found that works a lot better. So here's the diagonal fold. Ooh.
So
you can see the lines are going diagonally across. And it's similar to that box fold that we had, but you just are getting the design going, you know, I'm upside down here, diagonally down. So that is how the t-shirt comes out. But let me go back to, I got a little sidetracked, these little triangles.
Yes. Let's do our last fold because I know you wanted to show us 3. We've done that caterpillar one, the square one, and then show us our final diagonal fold. So we can see those. Even though that t-shirt is so cool, and I'm picturing too just the kids having so many options. If you were to do it within a classroom, feeling like how do you decide what to do?
I know. Well, that's why I kind of honestly like doing napkins because like if you just have one shirt, like. You want to just keep going, you know, but you can make little squares of muslin or something like that. And then kids could do a quilt or whatever. So the triangle fold, you know, we're starting the same way with our accordion.
So still from that edge, not starting from a corner.
Yeah, so this, I'm going to show you both ways to do the triangle. So this is the easier way is you start with the rectangular accordion.
Got it. This is like the classic.
Yes. Okay. So like once you have that down, then it's really just like an opportunity to kind of be really creative and do it any way you'd like. So now instead of folding it like the box fold, you're going to actually take the corner and you're going to kiss it up to the edge of the back of the opposite edge.
Okay. So like a little baby triangle.
Little baby triangle. And then this, I find it's easier to flip it back and forth because it's really hard to line up your triangle. So now you're accordion folding it back and forth. And I just find like if you flip it, you can control it a lot better because it can really.
Oh, right. Like what's happening to me where I have this like turkey tail situation.
Exactly. So. Love it, little tail. So just flip and then line it up, flip it over, line it up, and so on. And then you'll go all the way across.
Okay, wow, this is interesting. I like didn't anticipate it needing to accordion I think I'm doing it right. Accordion the like triangle, but that's super, like I'm excited to see what it will look like once it's done.
This is one of my favorite folds to do. It's, you know, this would probably be middle school and up. This would be hard for younger students to do just because, and you invariably are going to get like a weird little, depending on the size of whatever. See how I have this little extra flap right here? Yes. I'm just going to kind of tuck that behind. So depending on the size of whatever, if, you know, I don't think these are perfect squares. I think they're machine cut. So there's really no way to kind of do it. And these are a little bit trickier to bind because you have, you know, now you have corners. So here's one where I just found like the two bottom corners and the top one, but the rubber band fell off.
Nice.
This one I kind of did like a, you know, this one has lots of binding on it.
Yes.
And then this one also, a couple of these popped off in transit. So there's really like, you just want it to be nice and secure. So you can definitely, you know, go right through the center like this, but just know you've got that point that you may want to protect. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is make sure that your bands are right on top of each other. If you have a little space like this, dye is going to creep in there and it's going to mess up the geometry of your design.
Right. I mean, unless that's what you're going for, but
if you're going for it, go for it.
Like
but
this is going to show, all of this kind of messy stuff is going to show a bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I have here, this is a diagonal fold. So the triangular fold starts like the box set, and then the diagonal fold is kind of like, I'm just going to quickly do it while you're binding it.
Yes.
You start from the corner if you have a square. So we did this a little on the t-shirt. I'm just going to quickly show you, and then I can reveal one of each of these. So this is the hardest. This is the most advanced folds because you can see the sides are poofing up.
Right.
It's really hard to keep flat. So I just kind of like to take it for a little ride. This one, once you do the initial corner accordion fold, you can fold this in a caterpillar, a triangle, or a square.
I mean, the possibilities are endless.
That's right. So like here, I could do this, and then I could just caterpillar it like this.
Yep.
I could, you know, do the square fold back onto itself like this. Or I could then triangle fold this, which would be like super, super hard.
Right.
So we can,
like, I've even struggled with this triangle, so I'm just like,
it's tricky, I know. So this is
Yes.
a triangle fold. I mean, excuse me, this is a diagonal fold, and then these are all triangle folds. So you get to choose.
Okay.
So now let's talk about the dipping a little bit.
Yes.
So again, you can think about either your edges. So this one, I literally just dipped the bottom edge or one edge of the triangle. This one, I dipped the 3 edges. And this one, I dipped the 3 corners.
I mean, it's such subtle differences, but clearly they're going to have such unique, like, can you open up maybe all of your triangles as we finish chatting here? And then we can just compare the difference here. And in fact, Michelle, as you're doing that, there was some great conversation happening in the chat again as well, because everyone has such great ideas. And I believe Karen here was asking, and we're talking with Laura Lee a little bit here about dyeing paper as well. So diffusing paper, particularly, it sounds like it's going to work best. So if you're kind of wanting to have your students or yourself practice a fold or practice to see how a dip would work, trying it with paper first, and that way not having that commitment of doing something on your dye as well. So it sounds like
1,000,000%.
Yes, diffusing paper, liquid watercolors. It says Blick liquid watercolors work really well. So if anyone wants to try those, like I want to do that, do some dip dyeing on my own as well. Okay.
Totally. All right. So I'm going to do first, usually with the triangle fold, like the most common one is to do the 3 corners. How many corners in a triangle?
You know, it's been a long day. So let's just
see what this puppy looks like. So you can kind of see the bands.
Yes.
Where they leave a little mark. And then
it's so crispy, and I love how much white there is, honestly.
I know. So the triangles give you those stars in the center.
Yes. Okay.
So here's one where just the bottom edge is dipped.
And just that reminder too, because I think especially since you're supposed to use 100% cotton for anything you're going to be dyeing, is just probably doing less than you think initially, is like dipping and just kind of see what happens. You can always go back in and add more, but if you're really trying to do portions dipped, then just take it easy.
Take it easy. I know. And also I should tell everyone, you want these to cure a little bit. So
about how long do you let them sit for?
I would say a minimum of 24 hours, but like the longer it sits, the better. So these actually have sat for over a week. So
Do you typically put them in a bag, like a plastic bag, so that they dry slower, or just leave them kind of out?
Yeah, they'll sink like that. So if you can put
Cool.
them out in the sun, I usually use like just like those tinfoil turkey trays. I like line them all up there. I stick it outside in the sun. Then I take tongs or gloves. I flip them over. It's kind of like slow cook. So this one, just the top was dipped. I mean, excuse me, just the bottom edge was dipped, and I left one corner of the triangle white. So you can kind of compare. You can see both the triangle fold, different dips you're going to get, and binds you're going to get different results.
Love.
This one, all 3 edges.
Okay.
And then I bound kind of around.
Yes. These are stunning. Like, this would also be really cool for a fundraiser too. If you have an art club or a group of kiddos that makes them, they get to make a couple for themselves, but they want to make, have some that can be part of a fundraising group, or maybe fancy lunches. I don't know.
Sure.
We're thinking eco. Let's use fabric napkins. Though that's gorgeous too.
Now, the interesting thing is it looks like this, but it's kind of almost in like reverse.
Yeah, it's twisted.
It's almost in reverse. So, you can kind of see that. And then this one was the full enchilada.
Okay, let's see it.
Everyone in the pool kind of thing. I'm trying to not, it'd be much faster to snip the rubber bands, but then I can't reuse them. And
exactly. We gotta be, absolutely.
And I purposely, on this one, I used different thicknesses. You can see like really fat ones, really thin ones, because I really wanted, so here's what it looks like.
Okay.
And then this one, I also did a smaller accordion fold. So, So the triangle ones give you this really nice star effect. Now, the last one I'll undo is, I can undo all day because I got a whole pile here, but this one was starting in the corner and folding up diagonally. And then I bound it like so, and then I just dipped one side of each.
Perfect. And Michelle, as you're unfolding that too, do you want to just tell us a little bit about, pretty unrelated kind of, but your upcoming day in the life that is, well, I guess it's already out, I believe, right? For your YouTube. Yes. Tell us about that so we can check out a little bit more about you and how you run your classroom.
Thank you. Yes. So I was fortunate enough to be asked to participate in the Art of Ed Day in the Life. And it's kind of like you get to be my ride or die and spend a whole day with me. So it was filmed obviously before the summer, but I go over a lot of my classroom tips and tricks and my organization. I see over 500 kids every week, 26 classes. So we all know as art teachers, like being organized is really helpful. And one of the things that I do in my curriculum planning is I scaffold my curriculum. So all students will be working on like some kind of either same process, like we'll all be doing clay projects or all be making collages, or like we'll all be doing, portraits at one time. So I kind of talk a little bit about how I scaffold my curriculum too. So check it out. It's on YouTube. So here's the diagonal one. So you can see, you get that.
They're absolutely gorgeous. And what's the curing process? Just to kind of close it out for us, once we open them and we reveal and we love them, we want that color to stay. So how do you make sure that color fast, or how it kind of
so you want to rinse them actually before you open them.
Oh, okay.
When I was first experimenting, I opened them because I was so excited, and then I rinsed them, and all that amazing stuff literally washed away, and I wanted to cry.
Yes.
So I just dipped everything, and then I did reverse shibori with bleach.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah.
I was trying to rescue it. So you want to make sure that you follow the manufacturer's directions on the die, but hold water and keep rinsing and squeezing until it runs clear. Then you've gotten all the dye out of it. And you always want to wash tie-dye in like gentle cycle, cold water wash. So Don't put it with your, white sheets.
Favorite item, your white dress or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's like the red sock that ends up in someone's white laundry, and everything turns pink. So I just am opening this while I'm talking to you.
Okay, that's
really
fine. Yes,
curious.
yes. Well, we're coming to a close here today, and Michelle, I'm super excited about, first of all, I mean, just the folds in general, and I'm reigniting my love of folding things. Yay, that one's gorgeous. I like how blue that one is too.
Yeah.
And they look like sun prints a little bit, or like
do.
X-rays. I don't know. They're so magical.
Hero model.
Please just like cover yourself in them. Oh, you look gorgeous. Don't change your face. Ta-da! I love it. Michelle, you better post these after because I want to see all of them like spread out and really look a little bit closer at them too. But speaking of posting, can you tell everyone where they can follow along on your adventures on Instagram so they can see what you're up to in your classroom?
Yes. So my Instagram handle is @BrownArtRoom. Brown like the color, art room, where I am. I'm actually in my classroom right now. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. I love the art teacher community and just the people community in general. So reach out to me unless you're selling something really weird, and then I don't want to hear from you.
Appreciate that plug. Awesome. Well, we are coming to a close today, and I also just wanted to remind everybody, if you did any folding today or were taking notes or anything, go ahead and just tag us at the Art of Ed, tag Michelle, and then also just use our hashtag AOEU Live so we can see what you were up to and see who was joining us to create today. And if you post, then you will likely win a chance to get one of these really cool holographic stickers. So feel free to post that and check it out. And I will link a whole bunch of fun stuff after this in our story, like Michelle's Day in the Life YouTube, some of those awesome resources that some art educators were mentioning in our chat today. And we will see you next Monday for another Make Art with Me. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you, Sarah. So much fun. It's so good to see you. And those of you who have already started or starting, I hope it's a beautiful year for everybody ahead.
Completely, yes. We can do it. We got to just get our muscles back into how we do the school year.
The mojo's in there. We just got to wake it up a little.
That's right. Exactly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, friends. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.